Racing head coach?
Yeah, Ted wanted us to kind of read.
I just come here for a back. First in the row. While we're waiting.
We got the table.
What we'll do is we'll just start with some questions. You guys have got any general questions I can answer before we get started? Maybe I'll ask you a couple of questions. How many here have coached, well, any sport, or any, even dance, I don't care. Who here hasn't coached? You haven't coached?
No, you've never coached.
Awesome. Yeah, that's any sport.
I think everybody here has done a little bit of coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, even those, DJ definitely.
Excellent. Who here has coached hockey? Good. How many, what's your last name?
Mitchell.
You look familiar too.
I didn't do it.
Just so you know, I actually am from Camrose originally. I grew up here and then went to the University of Edmonton, unfortunately never came back. My mom and dad, my mother was Louise Jensen, Louise Jensen Long-Term Care Center. My dad was in the power company forever. My brother right now teaches at Charlie Killam. He's been there for a lot of years, Kirk Jensen. So always great to be back in this community. I think, honestly, this is one of the best communities in Canada, and I'll say the world too. Like, it's amazing to me, all the facilities we have, and so many good people. I knew the Rudy Swansons and the Max McLeans and the Bill Andreessens that all have different things named after them now. And I know that's continued on throughout the years. And just seeing how well this is exploding already, you know, with Brad and what team, I'm not sure the team you have, Brad, you have a board and things like that?
Yeah, we've got a board already.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, a few board members here.
The number of teams you guys have got already in just 1 year is just Camrose, right? So impressive, and great to see the kids are going to be coming out. But this, my son played roll hockey when he was 6. He loved hockey. All he wanted to do was play hockey. Then his friends and him started playing roller, and it was roller. All he wanted to do was roller. And what it was is, hockey can be intense, as I think we all know, like with the expectations and things like that. Roller hockey, we never had any practices. We maybe had a couple of practices at the beginning of the year. And then it was, we would play every Wednesday or Thursday, sometimes on a weekend, but very rarely. So it was really kind of a decompressing thing. It's not like a continuation from hockey, where there's a practice every couple of days and maybe a couple of games. It was really easy. It was light. And I think that's what the kids really enjoyed as well. And I'm not sure, Brad, what your game plan is for your teams, but I'm hoping it's not too intense.
6 days.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked. So when we first started, it was Brady, he's kind of the one that kind of got me involved. He asked to play. We joined Edmonton League as a single player for probably 4 years in a row, Brady, right? The first team that we played on was based out of Wetaskiwin. We were short players.
Yeah.
And Mitch, I think, was the head coach's name, and he asked me to help coach. And I said, I've never coached inline before in my life. I have no idea what you want me to do. He goes, we don't do anything. I'm like, okay. So he literally did nothing. And he just said, I want you guys to go out and have fun. We're going to have a cherry pick here. You can back check if you want. And I think you guys, I can't remember how you guys did that year. I don't think you won the final or anything, but you had a great season.
What birth year are you? 2008.
So we first met you in Indiana,
Okay.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was after that season. Brady came to me and he just said, you know, I would quit every other sport that I played just to play inline. I would be homeless in California after we did the California tournament. I'd be homeless in California, live in a tent just to play inline year round. So last year we got the U15 team started. We had more interest. And these kids, like we did the icebreaker, I think we lost just about every game.
Yeah.
And none of them had skated before in their lives.
Yes.
By the end of the season, they won the Tier 1 championship in Edmonton. It was unbelievable. So after that, I had 3 or 4 kids from that team come up to me and say, what can I do next? I never want to play another sport in my life if it's not inline hockey. They were just done. Your brother was one of them. So, you know, that kind of thing just kind of made me feel like we're missing something in Camrose, and we need to be able to offer this to more kids. And I mean, when we were playing back in the day, we invited people, he got there to come be our goalie. And how long have you been our goalie?
4 years, 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
What year are you?
What? Oh, wait.
08.
He's 08. Yeah.
Do you guys play on Team Alberta, or any of those guys?
No, I've never been to trial.
Okay.
I didn't.
Did you? That 08 is like a tough team to make. They're always right there banging on AAA World Championships.
Yeah, he played the 07s last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did I coach you one year? Because I coached the 07s one year.
You didn't coach, but you were in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, you were at pretty much every game, watching every game, and
Yeah.
you chatted with us a couple of times there. I know Wallace told him, not that you guys shouldn't go to Indiana.
That's right. So, well, there's nothing with the rules.
No,
That's not the demographic.
It happened with the ball. But anyways, long story short, the love that the kids have found with inline was, it was about go out and do something cool, go out and do something fun, go out and do a toe drag, go out and do a flip shot, go out and do something that you'd get yelled at by your head coach in ice hockey if you tried that out there, right? This was more about go out and make things happen. Now, it was really light when we started, and I've coached many years now in league play. I coached in the provincials now. I've coached for Team Alberta as well.
Oh, good for you. Awesome.
Yeah, so my philosophy's changed over the years. It's still about just the maximum amount of fun we can have, the maximum amount of things we can try, and what I'll caveat that with, back check as hard as you can every time. If you're tired, just get off. So I've kind of stepped up my first year of, well, we don't do anything. So there is certain things we do, and as coaches, as you guys take on these teams, I just really want you to keep that in mind that the point of this is that they go out and they can try something different. They can go out and have fun with their friends and their team, and not get browbeat when they come to the bench, unless they're taking long shifts and dog fucking. Then maybe they get a little talking to, but yeah, it's about working hard and having fun. So.
Yeah, and to kind of give you a bit of a, well, I'll introduce myself a little bit now too, since I'm not sure when Ted's going to be here, so we'll just get, is that I've coached probably like 15 years for inline hockey. I started with U6 back then. Actually, there was even something called Roller Buddies that my daughter was in. Then we won a number of city championships. It was just having fun. What I liked about it was that you tier as a team, you don't tier as a player, right? So your team gets tiered, and I'm not sure, that's got to be happening too, when you go up them in, right?
Yeah, so for us, a little different because we're first tier association. We did have players that have played on the same team. We had our U15 team, half of them, they split off and they added players. Our younger U15 group, they split off, they added players. And then because of the success that we had U13 saying, oh, we want to make a team. So as we built this association, we had ready-made teams. And then you had some singles, and then you had a single that wanted to join that team, and that guy wanted to go there. So this first year is going to be what it's going to be as far as making the teams as even as we can. Now, I just want to say something about, and you may disagree, Ted disagrees with me all the time, that's okay.
Yeah.
Ted's here. I always felt watching other programs in Alberta, they would do that. They would take them and divide them into two even teams, and they'd say, well, that's the best for development. Well, we played against those teams, and what would happen is their best players would carry the puck, and the lower players on that team don't get to touch the puck. You're better off playing with a team of light players in a tier that's a lower tier. He ended up in lower tier with our team. We joined as a single. We had players that were lower players, and we were in tier 2. And there was no shame in that. It was awesome. You guys won the tier 2 championship quite a few times. So they're going to develop where they develop, and my feeling is they should be with similar players.
Yeah, they're not going to develop right if they're not getting the touches on the puck and they're not getting enough floor time.
I know about that, but I know with my team, again, it's not so late that Wakata didn't make the team. I hate when in hockey, a kid is crushed because he didn't make the top team. So that's why we always did it with a group of friends. They weren't always the same level. But they're also good players, and because they're friends, we pass it to them, right? But whatever it is, it is. You don't want that pressure again on kids, where I didn't make the team and I feel like I'm down here now, and all my buddies are playing up here. But whatever you have to do, you do.
Yeah, we did do tryouts.
Yeah.
There's none of that. It was that U15 team split. They already had it set up for the association. Same with the U15 second team. I won't say second team, I'll say younger team. So typically what we've been doing is trying to do, the numbers pending is you've got, Kirk's asked Brady a couple times in Lyric, what age group are you? So when they go to other events like Team Alberta, it's done by birth year. So if you've got 2 birth years on a U13 team, those kids aren't playing on the same Team Alberta. They'll be in different birth years. So one of the things we try to do is have this birth year in U13, this birth year in U13, right? So now you almost get to stay together all the way through and improve as a group. But with our numbers, it made it hard. So we did have some.
We're going down the rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've coached, up until I've coached 3 world championship teams in AAA down in the US. I've coached in Bratislava, or Barcelona. I was general manager in Bratislava with our team, senior team Canada. So you can go as far as you want. There's also players that I've coached that got NCAA scholarships. There's different opportunities there as well. To kind of go, if you want to take that stream, I definitely encourage it. It's something that, it's a game that you can do for life, in my mind. Like it's something that, again, you want to make sure you're always enjoying it. And making sure your kids are enjoying it as well. That's so important. I can't stress that enough. They have enough stress in sports that it's nice when they kind of have that. I hope you're not screaming at them too much. I mean, the kid is dogging it and all that. You can be a coach. You got to be a coach. You got to teach them life lessons. And I always did that as well. But I'll leave that to you guys to your better judgment. You'll know your kids. And this is Ted Zylstra. He's the president of AMRHA, Alberta Minor Roller Hockey Association. He is the glue. He is the stick that stirs the drink. I think you started it too, did you? Did you start out?
Yeah, like they, Edmonton, Calgary, and Pittsburgh created it, and they're like, we need a president.
Wow.
Ted. Because I was the VP of Edmonton Inline at the time, and I was just getting into it. And yeah, and they thought that would be, they needed someone to take the bull by the horns here, and I did some free time. I wasn't married, so.
And the Zylstra name goes way back because his dad started in the Edmonton way.
Yeah, my dad and a couple parents got together after a couple of years. The league was called Capital City Roller Hockey League. It was like 2 or 3 years, and it was a privately owned operation. There's still a couple of those kicking around in Canada right now, but it started out privately owned, and the guy's like, I don't really want to do it anymore, and he just turns them off. And it was really unfortunate, but my dad and the parents got a phone call from Edmonton Minor Hockey and said, hey, because they were helping filter kids ice hockey over to this guy, and he said, they're calling, no one's answering the phone on the other end here, what's going on? And he said, hey, so your kids play roller hockey, and your brother's kids play roller hockey, and all your buddies, and you guys want to get something going here? So they got they got a group together, they got their 12 board members together. What you guys did in 1 year, and they started out with 400 kids.
I did not know that.
They started with 400 kids, and the U16s had to play against the adults the first couple of years, and so that was fun. But it got bigger and bigger every year after that. And Edmonton peaked at 1,900 players. No, 1,780 players. That's what it was.
What year was that?
It was 2009.
Yeah, okay, I was there.
Yeah, it was the year that we
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It was good stuff.
Yeah, so it was good history lesson.
Yeah, I know some things too.
But it is growing. They were
Yeah.
up 30% or 40% last year, and I think we're up again this year.
COVID really hit it hard.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh, really good.
Oh yeah, but and there was no Tasco roller hockey at that time. There was no Camrose roller hockey. There was no what else was there? There was St. Albert and Sherwood Park. So those organizations did exist. But now we've got St. Albert is starting to come back. There's a lot of high-level hockey players at St. Albert that are starting to find the bug for roller hockey, and people that are connected to Kirk actually pushing it, so
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Actually, I'll just let you know a bit of a fun fact here is that Matt Savoy came out and played for Team Alberta for a couple of times to see if he could make the team. And again, we had a superstar team already, the World Championships one year, and so he came out and he was kind of swimming in the States, but he didn't, I don't want to say he didn't make the team, but I think he realized that it was not, he was a little late to the game. But it was, I'll tell you, there was not a better kid though that was coachable. He was the fittest guy and the greatest guy in the dressing room. He was a little fun fact there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do here is
And by the way, I will be checking to make sure everybody's subscribed to all the teams on YouTube before you leave.
you told me
I did.
you're going to wait until you tell them all the things. I'm going to jag for you, Kirk, after.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it will go a little higher.
You need a little bigger too, then?
I think you have to go farther back. Just to move the back.
What do you think? Slide that whole thing back.
That'll keep
You
everybody?
can't see the stand up, right?
Just open over.
Slide that this way towards that.
Oh, I'm just thinking about getting more in the center too.
Oh, I see. There, yeah, there. Oh, yeah, okay. Just go turn on an angle. There you go. Yeah, shouldn't go when it's always. I think I should really just click. Okay. Okay, so, thanks for being patient, everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what we have here is actually our online coaching clinic. Okay, so this is mostly the same video that you would see online before you go to take your exam. So you sit through this is 20-25 minutes. But the nice thing about doing this in person with you guys is there's a lot of people in this room that are getting started for the first time. And so you're going to have an opportunity to a little bit of Q&A and not just have to watch a 25-minute video on YouTube. Now we'll be here for a couple hours doing this because there's going to be a lot of questions and so on. But I'll get started for the first bit, and then as soon as I get into practices, then Kirk will take over. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what do we do for with Alberta minor roller hockey for local associations and for coaching in general? Material support for the associations, leadership and guidance, provincial coach registration program, coaches training and materials. We have a provincial coaching director who helps filter all this information out to everybody, answers questions. We have a consistent set of playing rules for participants in Alberta minor roller hockey. And we have level 1 coaching certification we currently have, as well as we're working on a level 2, which is a lot more detailed than the level 1. But for you guys, this will be good. Get everybody in this room through level 1, and then we'll worry about level 2 after that. History of the sport. It was roller hockey, was created in the early 1900s, played by roller skates. The flat inline puck was invented in the 60s, and inline skates, 4 wheels inline, were created soon after. In 1980, a modern version of the inline skate was invented by the American roller hockey company, or American company called Rollerblade, which is where the names come from. While inline hockey was gaining steam, quad roller hockey was still being played at an organized competitive level. At one point, quad roller hockey was an Olympic sport, or they were trying to be an Olympic sport. Pucks were developed using Teflon-infused plastics for maximum gliding and lack of offsides and icing. Roller hockey's play finally rivaled the speed of ice hockey. There's a lot more to that, but, there you go, you get the gist of it. Dry rinks with advanced court surfaces are designed and built specifically for inline roller hockey. Leagues were popping up in places like Texas and California, and I think there's guys in this room already that know how good Texas and California are at roller hockey at this point in time. And the sport was starting to thrive. And there's quite a few players that have made the NHL in the past 20 years that actually were groomed playing roller hockey. I know Matthews from Phoenix, and then Bobby Ryan from California.
Ted, I'll even say a little closer to home, is that after Connor McDavid finished the game when he was in the minors, he had a roller what do you call it, maze that he would go through in his garage with rollerblades. So he was always on rollerblades as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few players that and then most recently was number 1 overall pick, Connor Berger, right?
Yeah.
So he grew up playing roller hockey, and he still actually plays roller hockey now. I don't know if that's written into his contract or not, but he's allowed to play for the roller hockey league in North Vancouver in the off season.
Oh,
So he still plays.
that's cool.
So about roller hockey, benefits of inline hockey, there you go, conditioning, improved skill development, skill maintenance, skating, strength, improved passing techniques, improved shooting ability, puck control, team play, offensive creativity, defense, man-to-man coverage, lots of that. And then quick facts here, 4 skaters, 1 goalie. I'm sure you guys are all aware of these things now. 14 players, 3 team officials permitted. This is a good one for you guys, only 3 people on the bench, okay? No body checking, well, for officials. 3 officials allowed on the bench. No offside or icing, penalties 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Penalties can get a little bit weird. Sometimes you will enter into a tournament and they have run time, and then things go to a minute 30 or 3 minutes or however they like to do that. Power plays can be 4 versus 3, as you see, and minimum number of skaters during play is 2 per team. Playing surface can be the cement, asphalt, roll-on, or plastic top.
I think an important thing there to see is you would have 2 players, which is different.
4 versus 2.
Never.
There are only 5 face-off dots, 2 in each end and the center dot. 2 zones, offensive, defensive. Everything's, well, we're doing this with the coaching and looking for drills and their systems. Everything is offensive, defensive. You don't have the puck, you're on the defense. You got the puck, you're on the offense. Player may make a hand pass from the offensive zone to the defensive zone. A team may begin the game without a goalie, 5 skaters on the surface. They must have 6 skaters to start the game. But yeah, there's been teams that goalie's a little late and the league says get going, let's go. You start with 6 skaters and you just keep control of the puck and you don't get the other team the puck.
See, I think it's important to see there too, you can't throw the puck from the defensive to the offensive. From the offensive to the defensive you can do with your hand pass there.
Right.
Yeah. You can't throw it from the offensive or from the defensive zone. You can't throw the puck ahead.
No, I think it was just a neat little, hand pass. Like you still can't close your head on the puck. Can't throw any pucks, Kirk.
Well,
It's like rugby, you go backwards.
it did say defensive to offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just a matter of, yeah.
And you can't do offensive defense anytime.
Right.
Defense offense.
So you're going to find that there's a lot of little different variations from roller hockey and inline roller hockey to ice hockey. So there's going to be little facts that we push out to you guys so you guys understand. So I'm sure that you guys went through that document there.
We did not, we just handed it out and assumed everybody read it really well.
Oh.
You're covered with quite a bit already here.
Yeah, okay.
The crack quiz is all before we start,
Did you mark those yet?
Yeah.
So here's how it works with goaltenders. They are allowed to play with only four wheels, 3 wheels. They are allowed that because of the strap on the pads. They are not players have to have all the slots filled. There is an exception though for players. If they break their wheel in the warm-up, there's a chance they might not have an extra one in the bag. Maybe they don't have time. Maybe they don't care. It's allowed in the rules. You broke your wheel in warm-up, you're still allowed to play in the game. If you skate onto the floor with only 3 wheels, the referee's going to turn you right around and say, go get your wheel on there. or figure it out. So that's where they don't bend on that, right? Yes, and then there's another little fact there. I know everybody's got, little brothers or injured players or, older brothers they want to be on the bench. If they are not registered as a coach with that team, they have to be in full point. Okay. Goals increase rules. Goal may never be scored as a reflection off an official. If the game clock is a runtime clock and the score is within 3 goals, this is a good one for Edmonton inline. They do stop time, so they will drop the clock, I believe. Has that ever happened to you guys? Okay. Any player deliberately falls on the puck in the crease within a goal, the other team will be awarded a penalty shot. That will happen. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of action, and players have been known to drop on the puck by accident, right?
That's what I've never seen a penalty shot called.
No?
Never.
Well,
Do you remember one?
So Ted, with that, it says falls on the puck. In hockey, it's your hand covers the puck.
well, I think it's a situation where,
Or just lay it out?
you lay it on the puck. You go to cover the puck as the player.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same thing, right? There's a lot of rules that are very similar in 2 sports, right? Goalies always determine when the puck is played once a save is made, never an official, okay? So this is one thing that we really have been pushing everybody to understand across the province, including the ref clinics, that the officials don't get just to lean on the boards and say, play the damn puck. I don't really want to go pick it up. That's not a thing. The worst offenders for that are actually Calgary referees. Just leave them.
Really?
So whenever they come to tournaments, it becomes a problem, actually. So yeah, no, we're slowly weeding that, that issue out of the referee corps around Alberta. The goalie determines when the puck's played and not.
Can I just speak to that for a minute? It's not familiar. So if a shot comes in and the goalie gloves it, the other team will typically peel away and the goalie will play without a whistle. It just allows the flow of the game. And that continued for years and years. But I've noticed in the last couple of years, certain teams in Edmonton inline, as soon as the goalie makes a save, they'll just crowd the net so he can't play it. And the referees, they can't say anything now. That's what we were told.
Yeah.
So they get the whistle, they get the offensive zone draw to create possession. Because inline is just a straight possession game. So
Ultimately, it's just going to be the referees become the problem. They're the ones playing the game now, right? They're like, oh no, you back up, you over there, and oh, you play it, no, don't play it yet. No.
yeah,
Pull
they've
it up.
got to do it. They've got to better.
If a player throws his stick in the defensive zone block, they've gotten better in Edmonton, but the guys literally sit there on the boards until the referee, everybody backs up. Now, Red Deer plays it a little bit differently too. So like every league around Alberta has a little bit of a different variation of this. Like they will actually encourage, like they've kind of trained the players to literally break out of the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll, like, as soon as the goalie makes a save, the players will just, like, they're told since they're little to just peel out of the zone. So the recreational league, which nobody's really going to get a chance to play that unless you move to Red Deer. But yeah, then the goalie just pushed off the side and start up from behind the net. So, but yeah, they don't have many face-offs in Red Deer. Yeah. If a player throws the stick in the defensive zone to prevent a goal, a penalty shot will be called. There we go. 3 penalties or infractions of any kind result in a game ejection. Okay, so when you get a double minor, that counts as 2 infractions, I believe.
Yeah, that's what we're told.
So when guys get excited, because that's only 2 penalties. It's a double minor and a 10-minute misconduct. No, that was 3. You're out. Out of the game. Players who receive 10-minute misconduct may still play the game with the penalties over. Now, if they were to receive a 2-minute and a 10, they're still in the game and sit in the box. They'll be in there for 10 minutes. After the 2-minute penalty, they'll still be in the box for 10 minutes. Yeah. And then you'll be back to even strength, right? Any fighting will result in a game misconduct. There can be one-man fights. That is one of the biggest arguments out there. Is like, oh my God, there's only one guy fighting. Nobody should get a game misconduct. He was just, the other guy didn't punch back. No, he was throwing punches. Maybe he was punching the guy and beating up on him. The other guy was turtling. But that's what it is. It was a fight, but the other player won't get a penalty, or he might get a roughing, depending on what he did. but he probably won't get the game slotted. He'll probably only the players throwing punches. There is no head contact penalty in roller hockey, but there is obviously body checking and all sorts of stuff like that. Just from behind.
Did you want to talk about the bond right now, or is that late?
That would be yours.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Edmonton or bond.
Yeah, so in the Edmonton line, if you do get into a fight, the team gets fined. And we'll talk more about this when we start practices. I don't think we've ever had a fight to get into Didsbury was the first fight I think we ever had, but Redger didn't do anything about it. But yeah, if you're in a fight at the line, you're kicked out of the game and you pay a fine. So we as an organization, we waived the player bonds that are payable up front, and we just said we'll be responsible for any fines that come out of any game. So what will happen is if DJ is a player on U15 and DJ gets into a fight, he gets a $100 fine. I'll pay it for DJ, but then DJ has to pay me back, or DJ's mom and dad. So that's how Camrose in line's going to handle the phones.
I'll just say one other thing to that, Ted, too. From my experience, there's an appeal process, but don't bother. I think it even costs you to appeal.
Yeah, sometimes it can.
I did once for a real obvious, there's no way, didn't make any difference. That's her dad was the guy running it, so
I don't know anything about it. Never even heard about it.
But again, we never had a fight in all the years we've played. We've never had a holdback of money for the bond, so we're not expecting that.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to handle it. That's what the past in the past do. They dealt with it internally. Coming back penalty will be called during a player change if the player makes a attempt to play the puck. That's a dicey one. Sometimes it's moving so fast. Sometimes the referees, I don't know. I think there's been times where it's like, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
But the officiating in Edmonton has improved over the years, really all the time. It's been really good.
Coaches were different.
I know, really, yeah, but over the years, I think it's
For sure.
that's way better.
Player change rules. If players, so some of these things that we're talking about here might involve all leagues. There might be different rules for Edmonton, okay? So Brad, you're obviously, there's things that we'll be talking about here, but it involves a lot of the province. And like we talked about, there's multiple different recreational leagues that have different rules. So some of these things that we talk about in here might not be the way Edmonton is run. Okay. If the player's injured, play is stopped, that player will need to be replaced with a sub. This rule does not apply for goalies. Penalties on goalies must be served by a skater on the surface. Proper line change time for 5 seconds, 5-5. If the goaltender's injured, we will give. So this one is in Edmonton, I know that. We give them 10 minutes to recover. If they don't recover in 10 minutes, you're going to have to haul the coop off the ice, off the surface, and the team will then have 5 minutes to change the player into goalie equipment.
Or they can choose to play the rest of the game.
With 6 guys, or the 5 teams, yeah.
Can they start the game while the players are going in the change?
Yeah, well, they probably would, because they're going to give you the 5 minutes. So 10 minutes to recover, yeah. So they're going to give you 5 minutes to change. So they will start the game and say, okay, you have to start the game with 5 skaters. And then we'll do that. And then it's all about possession at that point, right? I've seen that goal sit empty forever. It's like, when are they going to shoot it at the empty net? Well, they haven't touched the puck yet, so. Except to carry the puck behind the net, the team with possession of the puck must attempt to move the puck forward. This rule does not apply when the team is on the PP or PK. Both officials are equal. Either can call penalties or goals. There is 0 tolerance for abuse of officials. This is a really big one, guys. There's abuse of officials from players, fans, and coaches. And so this is one that we're really reinforcing at the referee clinics right now. Is what happens when there is abuse happening, harassment as well, right? We ask the referees at that point in time. So this is what we're doing for the referees. Are you doing a good enough job in this game? Is there a reason these people are attacking you? Are you sitting on the boards? Like, so we're asking these guys to look internally. Okay, no, you've gone through your little mental checklist, you're not doing any of these things wrong. The other teams, it's a tight game, they're losing, they're getting upset because of a call that you knew was a penalty, but they all thought it was questionable. Okay, moving on to the next thing. How to deal with harassment and abuse you are getting from, you know, the fans, the coaches, and the players. So this is a big problem, and you know, hence why they're always running out of referees in hockey and probably all sports, right? So it's something that we're reinforcing with these guys. We're not just pointing at all the coaches and players. We're not just saying, we're saying, look internally, are you doing a good enough job? We're paying you to do a job here. Are you doing a good enough job? Okay, move forward on how to dole out how to communicate now with the coaches and the players, and then at that point in time, how to dole out penalties if the abuse and harassment doesn't stop. Lowest number of players a team can have before the penalties is 2.
Well, this is Kirk now.
Okay, Kirk, you're up.
It's practice, even though we don't, even though earlier I said we don't practice.
There's some practices.
And I will say this too, like, you can be teaching a lot during a game. We always, like I said, we had 2 or 3 practices at the beginning of the year, especially for some of the new players, and that's all the way up to U18 that haven't played before. They played a lot of hockey. The biggest thing is learning how to stop. Even though I'm going to say you shouldn't be doing a lot of stopping with roller hockey, it's all about flow. Flow, and if you look down at your feet and it's not a face-off, and your feet aren't moving, you're not playing roller hockey. You should always be moving, always be flowing. Every drill that you do should be a flow drill. When your players are learning how to break out, everybody should be flowing, should be crossing, changing direction. And I have 3 P's that are patience, possession, and passing. It's hard to explain really, those aren't just cliche words. In Bratislava there, I watched, we played Team USA that won the World Championships that year. And they would hold the puck for 5 or 6 minutes before they took one shot. If they came in and it wasn't there, they would all regroup, all come up. And you kind of start to see that now at 3-on-3 in the NHL in overtime, right? Don't worry about the damn zone in. Don't worry about for us, we don't have a blue line. They do, but even then they're still 3-on-3. You can come outside the zone. We don't have to keep it inside the zone anymore. Reset it, throw it, you know, sometimes we would throw it all the way back to our goalie and reset it, then come all the way back. Because what you want is speed and change of direction. That is the key, that is the secret sauce for roller hockey. If you can do that, you're going to win, and your kids are going to love it because they love going fast, and they love the deception too of changing and switching. But I guess we'll go through some of these points here. I think it's the same as hockey. An effective practice is a lot better than 5 or 6 games because you're going to be touching the puck more, and you should be learning more. Each player should have the puck on his stick 8 to 12 minutes. Anybody not? You can all read that, right? I don't have to go through all those points. That's very similar to hockey, right? The benefit for practices is so much higher than the benefit for games. But even still, I know when I was coaching, I would talk to them before the game and say, this, boys, is what I would like, and I had to coach girls too. This is what I want to see out there. This type of breakout, or this type in the zone where we're changing direction. One man's coming up high, the other one's coming along the boards. You drop it to him, the other guy takes it, brings it back up and around through the slots, right? So just always flowing. I said, that's what I want to see. So we would use our games to set up practices and do things, all right? They're in skating, shooting, and passing. That's another philosophy for sure. Again, I would say passing, patience. Toughest thing is going to be patience. These guys play hockey that's up and down. If they're always wanting to take the shots, even when it's not there, they'll try to pass if it's not there. Try to teach them to have the patience. Because if you can have a team that is the best passers, the most patience, and will understand possession, just possess the puck. It's a lot more fun when you have the puck. Those 3 things, if you can get your players to have those 3 things, if they can go as far as they want in roller hockey, and they'll enjoy it more. Everybody, I'll make another point in this passing thing, and I'm going a bit off script here, but you know, in hockey, I've got F1, F2, F3, you have D1, D2. In hockey, or in inline, I never had that. We don't have that. We have P1, P2, P3, P4. Just because you're a D-man doesn't mean you have to be down here. You are engaged in the play. You are Kale McCarr. You are activated. And F1 or P1, you're making sure if he's going or he's pinching, you're covering, right? Always make sure that the D-man doesn't say, I want to stand back here. No, you want to activate all of your players. Again, I call it P1 through P4. Important thing there with body contact and body checking. Body checking, I know we have, I think we all start to understand that now because we have in hockey, we have a non-hitting division, we have a hitting division. Body contact, body checking. So body contact, you can rub a player out on the boards, right? Body checking is a direct contact. You do not have direct contact in inline hockey, right? You take them out, you can box people out. I don't know why we'd be boxing somebody else. I guess maybe on a power play or something like that. Rollers should always be moving. But that's, I don't know if there's any questions on that. I think we all understand the difference between, like you cannot come in and do a direct check like this. You can rub somebody out along the boards and take away the puck, but nothing direct contact.
Just gotta keep that focus on the puck, or else they're gonna be calling us.
Yeah.
Safety, zero tolerance, and respect. Again, pretty standard stuff, even in any sport. Understanding the rules, zero tolerance. And I have to say, and I like Ted's philosophy on this, we really want to try to play by the rules and have fun. But Ted and the board there, they will crack down if it's not. If somebody's kind of hand and not, respecting the game, the love for the game, and the spirit of the game is probably a better way to put it, AMRHA will step in on that. Respect, people taking respect in sport now, that's a big thing now that Hockey Canada's put in. The players, coaches must work together to have much respect and develop in a positive direction. It's given, it's not earned. One thing I will say, you're going to have some young referees, like you do in hockey. They're going to make more than one mistake in a game, and you're going to know it, right? Yelling at a referee never got me anywhere. I never even bothered doing it because I was a referee. And one of the best things to do is to understand what a referee is going through. It's not just all you on the bench. It's all these guys up in the stands too, right? That are dealing in both ways in stereo. If you want to talk to the referee, I would always do it after the whistle. If he would come over, I'd say, hey, what did you see there? That's all I would ask. I wouldn't sit there and yell and scream at him, how are you so blind? I'd just say, what did you see? And he would say, this was, okay, I just wanted to know because that's not what I saw, but yeah, if that's what you saw, you're right. You made the right call. Okay, so don't get in a big debate, especially with the young kids. We want to keep these referees growing in our sport, and if you can help them grow, then you're going to make the sport better too. Yeah, for sure. Risk management. Identify risks, assess the level of significant risks you'll make minimize. So this is really a heavy slide. Did everybody get all these points? Did everybody understand that? There's a lot of detail in that slide. I think the one thing to make sure of is always have those doors closed. If you're a coach, sometimes there's a kid that came in late, and it's a little different than ice hockey. Like he'll open the door and then he forgets to close it, or he doesn't close it all the way. Just make sure as the coach, you make sure all the gates are closed that the kids are coming in. I know that usually the score people take care of the penalty boxes, but just make sure those doors are closed as a coach. Another thing that is a bit of a risk is, I don't see it there, but it's water. Roller wheels really hate water. You can get sliding all over the place, and that's when you can get hurt. Make sure you have a towel on your bench or a couple of towels.
Yeah,
Sometimes-
towels. Your goalie should take one to his net in case his water dribbles on the floor or people fall down. And you have to have one on your bench. Do not forget it.
Yeah, and
What, I don't think the goalies are allowed to have the water
I was
bottles.
gonna say that. I don't think
They allow us to,
if they do,
we've had rinks, bottles explode from shots.
yeah. It takes a
Yeah,
while.
I think that's why they're not supposed to do that.
Maybe that's changed.
And it's unfortunate because these goalies in ice, at least it's a cool rink.
Yeah.
These guys are out there like when it's 75 degrees outside and it's warm.
Yeah.
And it's warmer in the rink.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the ref, if you're not allowed to, I'm sure the referee will give you a timeout or something, a quick timeout, have the goalie come take a drink. All right, so again, hydration is really important. I know I've run marathons, it's not the running that's going to kill you, it's going to be the heat, right? And those guys are under a lot of heat there, so. Role of coach. Again, most of you people have coached, be a communicator, be a leader, be a teacher, be an organizer, be a motivator. Young kids love to be motivated. They love stories. Any story that you can relate from when you played, or you had a son that played, or you had a grandpa that played, or a dad. Kids love stories to be motivated. I know the most results I've ever gotten is when I had good stories. I've had assistant coaches say, God, Kirk, I wanted to go up there on the surface after that speech. Kids love that, right? And they love to win. Respect for participants. Oh yeah, this is, where's a good one here? I know this one here, I'm sure the rule is the same, is there was two buddies and they were just warming up and they were kind of going by this in the center ice, right? They were going different ways. And he said, his name was Warren, you guys would know, but one of the guys was Warren, the other guy was Brian, and Warren went by him and said, hey, you're gay. Yeah. They were friends, they were just joking, kind of giving a poke at each other. I think he got like 3-game suspension. The referee heard it, he got a 3-game suspension.
Whistle, boom.
Yeah, it was just, and don't bother appealing, don't bother anything like that, where it's sexist, racist, homophobic, whatever the word is, homophobic. Yeah, just, it's not tolerated in today's society, even among friends on the surface there with the referees. So there's a black and white there, there's no gray area there. Today, technical knowledge is good. Only use accepted training techniques as outlined in the manual. I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, as a coach, one thing I know about a coach, if you're a good coach, you're a good thief, right? I mean, I would always go, if I went to a World Juniors, if I went to watch the Kodiaks play, I would watch how they warmed up at the beginning of the game. I would watch the World, I love watching Sweden warm up the World Juniors. Their warm-ups were like incredible flow drills. And there's we're going to give you a couple of websites that Ted has, one's a particular one on flow drills. One's Jeremy Weiss Hockey, I don't know if that's another one there, I don't know if you guys have heard him. I used to use a lot of his drills, and he goes through them, you got the motion going, the X's and O's, where the puck's going, so it's really easy to follow. Integrity.
Important stuff.
Yep. I'm just trying to see something that's like I mean, you know integrity is important, especially as a coach. I guess where sometimes it gets a little difficult is if you see a parent being abusive to a player, where that borderline is. You know, again, you have to use your own discretion on that. I've been in that situation before myself. Try to talk to a parent, but it's the same thing that happens 3 games later. We're right back doing the same thing. You're going to be put in tough situations, and you just got to use your best, judgments on how to do that. And sometimes, if you want to phone out to a mentor, phone AMRHA, phone the league office, and just say, hey, how do I deal with this, or put it on watch.
Talk to Brad first.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk to all the parent groups before the first practice. And one of the big messages, you know, is as inline is different for the players, as it's more fun, it's freewheeling, if I can use that word. It should be more chill for the parents in the stands too.
Yes.
We shouldn't be stressed up there. We should just be enjoying watching the kids play. I mean, you'll find that the whole atmosphere should be just, it's not ice hockey. There's no reason to get upset. There's no reason to yell and scream unless you're in the red, you've got all those three.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah, you should just be there to enjoy it and watch the kids have some fun. That's it. We should never really have parents yelling and screaming at inline hockey. It's not that deep. So.
The one thing where we might get a little bit of leeway is that some parents think their kids are still going to the show. So there's more pressure. There's no show here in roller hockey, right? You get a scholarship to go to Linwood, not even a full scholarship to begin, so don't worry about that pressure there from the kids. Parents. This is for mandatory equipments, CSA helmet, inline skates, and the brake. Does everybody understand what the brake on the heel there, right? You don't have that thing on the back where it's just lower blades like this here. But the brake is normally something that would come through there, you can buy it. That's more only when you're going on the street type of rollers. Gloves, elbow pads. Elbow pads are really important. Concrete is part of the nice if you fall. Shin pads off, hockey pants, and then that's protected toughness safety.
So the chest protector is not mandatory in the U18, correct? Or is it U15 and U18?
No.
It's not.
I haven't heard that. That the like padded shirt you're talking about?
Padded shirt, yeah, we haven't worn that in 10 years.
And our guys didn't either.
But I see a lot of the young guys, as soon as they can get rid of the shoulder pads, as soon as their parents let them get rid of the shoulder pads, boom, they're just elbow pads and ready to go.
Yeah. Again, because it's hot.
It is hot,
yeah. Okay, so that's another point then. I always made sure my kids couldn't come onto the bench unless they brought a water bottle. Right? Otherwise they're drinking on some other kid's thing because they're hot and all of a sudden they forgot. So really make sure you drill it into your kids to be responsible. Big checklist is, you come onto the surface with the water bottle. And make sure they're always drinking. You gotta tell these kids that too, right? See a few head shaking, that's exactly.
Do the goalies have to wear the neck guard, sorry? Do you? Because it's really hot, I just think some of them have shed it, I don't know if
I think they do. I don't think they want to get a puck in the throat.
but most of the masks drop.
Well, it depends. I think it's either you wear the neck guard or you
Or
have
you have the other one.
yeah, I think that's what it has to be. Yeah. Why don't I look into that? That's a good question.
And I'll give you a quick little tip here too. I don't know if some of you might know, I ran marathons. I learned how to drink when you're in athletics. The best way to do is drink like no more than 3 sips or 3, not big gulp, but 3 shots, because you don't want it sloshing around in your stomach. So whenever I was running, I would just make sure I kind of got 3 drinks and that's it. And then maybe 2 or 3 shifts later, 3 drinks and that's it. All right, because again, your stomach can only ingest so much at a time, otherwise it just starts sloshing around. That's just a little quick tip I learned from when I was doing my days of running. Wheels, really important here. There's different sizes of wheels, 72 and 80, again, depending on how large the boy is or the girl. Smaller for the goalie, 59mm. Hardness of the wheels. That's something you really want to, like if you're playing on concrete here at the max, you want a softer wheel. You don't want a hard wheel. Because otherwise you're just going to be slipping more. Like it's hard to get a real push. So a softer wheel.
Then it sort of wears down a lot. So, you know, I think 78 seems to be the sweet spot. You know, I think what 74 is when you've got a lot of grip, like on the high. Nice and soft, the wheels are bending with you.
Sometimes those pop off easier.
They do break easier when you're really going hard on those corners. Yeah.
Yep. We talk about bearings, is that on the next one?
I believe, yes, it will be.
Okay, well this here's the roller. You'll see different players have different setups for the wheels. I would just go with whatever comes with the set, with your skates. If you're just starting off with your minor leagues here,
Like Brad said, short wear life on that soft wheel, right? They snap in half if you're going too hard on the corners.
Well, if you're U18, maybe it's the U16, but if you're U10, U12, you're not snapping.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
With the slides.
Yeah. Bearings are really a key. I've seen some kids that were great skaters that had slower bearings, and some kids that weren't as fast get beat the kids that did have slow bearings. Bearings make a big difference. Basically, that's like, I would say 25% more effort from bad bearings to good bearings. And again, I know ABEC is the kind of a code. Higher the number, the faster and smoother the bearing will be. And you can't buy those separately.
I wonder why they sell 1 and 3 now. Maybe luggage or something, eh?
Yeah. Forward stopping, T-stop. This is something that, like, stopping, as they get better, okay, well, we understand the T-stop, that's just like this, kind of dragging your foot, right?
Yeah. I think I just got lucky with the photo of Sean Connery there.
Oh, is that Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2018 team, yeah. Cool. Power slide, this is the one that takes some time to learn. That's what you want to try to make sure you're in your first couple of practices, especially with the older kids, is learning how to do that power slide stop. And at first, use your stick as kind of a bit of a leverage point or a support point, and slide. And that's something you just have to practice, right?
You might fall down a little bit on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is.
You almost learn that necessity when you go too fast in the sport.
Yeah. It's like if you're like when you're skiing, when you're first learning to ski and learning to slide, it depends on how much snow you have or whatever.
Yeah.
If it's icy or if it's like it's all about how much weight you put on that edge.
Yeah.
And in roller, it's really tricky. There's this was
Yeah.
my team, my sub.
Yeah, that's it.
The Northern Alberta Bulls. That's Caden Dick. Snowplow, backward stopping. You did get lucky with that one there too.
I know.
Again, it's just practice as they get older doing it. Don't be afraid to make, in coaching I always say don't be afraid to make mistakes. I don't mind if my guys go out there and make mistakes. I encourage it. Go try something, introducing a toe drag. If you want to try something new, I have no problem with it. Like, have fun, go out there. If you make a mistake, I don't care. Learn from it. And in fact, if you make a mistake and you want to come back, I'm going to ask you, so what did you see there? What did you do? 9 times out of 10, the player will be able to say, yeah, sorry, coach, I did this, I did that. It's nobody's sorry. You learn from it. I'm cool. I'm good. Yeah. Well, for now, we're really getting into it.
Gotta cover all the bases.
Yes, right. Again, that's you're almost at the pro level here now when you start doing this 1 foot stop stuff. Again, now you're on one edge, and yeah, it's really a matter of balance and just practicing it.
It's kind of incorporated into the stride almost. It's not like you plan with 1 foot stop. It's sort of you just end up sliding over on 1 foot. Yeah, just times.
It's just like hockey, but it's just harder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one. You can go down pretty fast if you do it wrong.
It's pretty sticky.
But yeah, it's U18s and adults and stuff like that that have been doing this for many years or are pretty good.
What's this link for, Ted?
Oh, that was the video.
Want to show that?
Here we go. Well, I don't have Wi-Fi here, so. But yeah, it's on our website. If you go to the AMRHA website and you go to the What is Roller Hockey tab on the website, then you'll see the video there.
Okay, so we're more than halfway done the break here.
Sure.
Okay. You guys want to have a break right now? About 10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right. If you want to come up and ask us any questions, go outside and freshen up a little bit. But yeah, let's come back at 7:15 now, so let's come back at 7:25. Okay, thanks guys.
I sent it.
Smell like glue. No.
Oh,
You guys are actually so fun.
Very good. Top more of us is one of the top.
No, we can't. Nope. Nope. Gotta lock him in. You gotta get him dialed.
Want to do,
Actually, I would like to talk about my stuff.
yeah, go ahead.
All right, is everybody ready to go? Thank you for those who subscribe to the Hall of Teams. A big shout out to you. This training session, the coaching session is sponsored by the Hall of Teams.
Did you get everybody?
Pretty well, I think, most of the guys. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna, one quick exam. Give me 1 P. Give me that one. Yeah, 1, 2. Basic, 3 Ps. Basic. What'd you say, passing?
Patience.
What'd you say?
Patience.
Yep.
Punching.
Possession. Boom. That is a big one. Possession. That in hockey, we don't play possession hockey. They did in 1972, which is my era as a kid. The Russians played possession all the time. They were shocked when Canada kept dumping the puck into them back in the 72 Summit Series.
They probably were laughing and didn't understand.
Yeah.
This is a trick.
Thank you.
We get it again. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that is something you gotta erase, and it's not easy. It took me years, 3 or 4 years, to get that hockey out of them. But just believe in possession, believe in resetting, believe in coming back. I used to say to my guys, boys, sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forwards. Sometimes you gotta go down a mountain to go up a mountain, right? It's not like we have to keep going in one direction. Always come back. Don't be afraid to come back. In fact, I will applaud it. When you come back in the dressing room, you're the one that gets player of the game because you did a couple of resets, right? That's really something that I really encourage you to do because that is what it's all about. You focus on the team system. I got my own stuff here, but I know Ted's got this.
No, keep going.
Well, maybe just, well, let's talk a little bit about goaltending since it's up here. How are we doing for goalies?
I just talked to one right now that they're going to try and make it up. But we've got 2 goalies for U18. We've got an adult goalie, 1 for U15 right now. We had one drop out today.
Yeah.
But I might have a replacement. We've got 1 in the U13s, and then the other U13 we just have to rotate.
Yeah. Goaltending is tough in hockey to get the goaltenders, and it's also very tough for them to slide across, right? It's different. You kind of almost have to step. Also, one of the goaltenders that I got really into it, and what you can do is on the inside of the pads, because when you're sliding across or when you're down, you can wear out the pads. It does it's pretty hard on the pads when you're on that surface. Is you can get ball bearings that you can kind of strap onto it, where it allows you to slide there on the edge of your pad. So that's something that can really help a goalie, and especially getting the smaller wheels. If you're on the larger wheels, their center of gravity is a lot higher. They want that smaller wheel if they can get it, all right? Using their brother's older hockey, whatever. As long as they can play, it's great, but the smaller wheels will really help. Anything else on goaltending, Ted, that...
Well, the slides work, but you kind of have to commit to that. When you put them on, they can be, if you're not going to use them, they'll just be big and clunky. But the goalies, Jagged is really, your goalie for last year, your 2015s.
Yeah.
He really committed to those. His dad got him slides and put them on there, and he worked and practiced in the garage and figured out how to use them, and he was a heck of a goalie.
Same with my 03 goalie. He did the same thing, Caden. He was all in on roller hockey. His parents were all in on roller hockey, and also they were all in because it was wearing out his good pads, right? So it actually helps save the pads a little bit too. But it makes a big difference. They push, at least they can push it and slide across on the ball bearings there on the edge of the pads.
So do those come off after the season?
Yes, yeah, they just strap on.
Oh, they strap on.
Yeah. Okay, and again, make sure they're staying hydrated. And as a coach, no referee is going to say to you, sorry, buddy, your goalie can't have a drink. Be aware, all right? I know as a coach, I would get sometimes so involved in the game, I would sometimes lose, I guess, what's the word, common sense, or what they're going through. The guy's just been killed 2 penalties, your goalie, and he's been sweating and dying, you probably know that. Man, you gotta have some water. Because again, that is where the danger is for a player. It's not even running out of breath, it's in the heat. No one has ever died running a marathon running, but people have died running marathons because of the heat and they didn't stay hydrated. Right? Don't be afraid to ask. Any referee will allow you to do that.
I know he's talking a lot about water right now, but there is actually no water hydration question on the tests. So
Yeah. And what I'm talking about is the kid's safety. There should be.
yes, but this should be a question. I know they're probably thinking, I wonder if this is gonna be on the exam.
Maybe we should stick more to this.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a quiz for the whole community.
That's right.
Remember the 3 Ps.
Pretty straightforward here. The goaltender stops the initial shot. Square is blocking. Yeah, and I think I'll just talk the hockey thing here, or hockey in general, is always make sure your D-man, he takes away the what? What does he take away, the D-man?
The passing lane.
Takes away what?
The passing lane.
Passing, what do you, as the goalie, what do you take?
I take the shooter.
Take the shooter, 100%. Make sure that everyone's on the same page of that. Those simple things. Yep, K-type. Yeah, talking about finding the friction, which is so true. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think there's a lot of benefit for playing roller out, not so much as when you're the goalie. Like, I mean, you really got to learn to be positional in inline. You got anything you want to say about being a goalie since you are one and you've been in between the pipes?
I mean, really, it's just like honestly, I've like seen about the sliders and like you really got to commit. I don't use the sliders, but it's a lot more work. You're shuffling around all the time. But with me, I mean, usually you want to take the passing lane, but I've been finding that these guys with these inline pucks can really whip. Like they move.
So we've had a couple games where he said, take the shot, force a bad pass.
Yeah,
and hope it doesn't. And we actually won a game because of a change that we made, but typically.
Yeah, because if you're on the man and he can't pass the puck, I mean, it's just as good as, I found this really hard against this one team, the Red Rockets. They just had really good shots, so I just kept being like, take the shooter, because if he's gonna pass it, I'm gonna have some time, and he might miss the pass. These
That's
guys,
interesting. Okay.
they miss a lot of passes, and also between the pipes. Brad always told me, he's like, if you need water, timeout.
Right.
Like just say timeout, and I don't know. Your players really gotta your D gotta help you. Because like if it's a 2-on-0, man, you can't really move quick. They just pass. They can shoot it. Like it's harder. It's so hard for a goalie. Like it's actually really hard.
And you're right, because that puck is what, 75% of the weight of a real puck?
Well, they can
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's off their stick, and the way they can load up the carbon sticks now, it's like that.
We always encouraged our goalies to play the puck. I liked it when they go out, they got dumped in, control it, and hand it off. So we'll keep encouraging that because I know it really translates into hockey for some of these guys. So we kind of feed that. Larry was very good at poke checking, which is very important. Had like a 20-foot poke check to win a championship one year. Yeah, that's unreal. So yeah, we want our goalies to be active. We don't want them just sitting there absorbing everything. We want them involved as much as they're comfortable being.
Yeah, play the puck. I mean, you shoot it down. I got a goal just from trying to hit the long man. It bounced off the other opponent and it went in, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that's good. And you're having more fun, aren't you? When you get to play the puck.
So what I want to say is that yes, there's a lot of benefits in roller hockey to guys in layout, but there's also an equal amount of benefits to the goaltender. Mm-hmm. It is a very fast-paced game. Like we were talking about how quick that puck moves side to side. It's there's a lot of speed and transition that's sometimes not there in ice hockey, and that really does force the goalies to start thinking quicker and moving quicker and covering their angles and checking where they are in the net, right? It's there's a lot of benefits to the goaltender, right, that I've seen over the years.
I can tell you, if your glove can stop a inline puck, a hockey puck looks like a beach ball coming at you. How slow it is compared to a release of an inline puck. All right. Yeah, this is again very much sport oriented. I don't care if you're playing soccer, badminton, pickleball. Have a parent meeting. Make sure you have a good one. Always have a parent meeting before the season, set expectations. It's important that they know too, that this isn't as high intensity, there's not gonna be a whole bunch of practices. This is what we're expecting from the kids, it's a lot about having fun. But you know, you've got to also make sure that you have a commitment from the parents as well, making sure, because a lot of times you don't have a lot of players on a team, again, I don't know about Camrose, but if you only have like 8 skaters and you're missing 2, you're down to 6. Now, so you got 2 spares. Again, it's a hot surface, like you're skating, and they're going to be just soaked. So it's important that all your players come out because it's really tough when you're 6 if you're missing 2. I think one thing I would make sure when you're talking to the parents is let them know that there's some rules that are different, right? You don't have to go through them all, but don't be yelling at a referee because, whatever the different rule might be, just let them know there's a different rule. So just because it's that rule in hockey, doesn't mean it's that rule in line.
That's part of the reason why we created that document. It wasn't just for the coaches, but the coaches can help train the parents so they can look through some of those rules.
And have a philosophy. Let them know about possession, because they'll go crazy thinking, why aren't you dumping it in? Or why aren't you doing this, doing that? Why are you going backwards?
That's the one. What? No, not our own end. Why are you going that way?
Why are you passing to the goalie for God's sakes? What the hell are you doing out there? Yeah, make sure they understand that. Let parents watch practice. Okay. Yeah, that's all, again, pretty just standard sports stuff there, right? Is this stuff being on the test?
Some of it is.
Okay. Tips for effective practices and proper instruction and skill. Control, sure. You can go back there, Ted. A big thing too, don't worry about it. A big thing in inline as well, if there's a lot of passing going on, what else there has to be to have a lot of passing? It's a bit of a tough question, but it's a question that's obvious with the answer when you hear it. If you're doing a lot of passing, what else do you need a lot of?
Movement.
Movement? Probably. Pardon? Receiving. Yeah, receiving a pass. That's a big important part, yeah, receiving passes. They're going to find out that puck really bounces off their wheels a lot faster than it does off their blades. So boing.
Communication.
Thank you. Communication. That is the big, I always say, guys, it's not a library. You're probably louder in the library at school, getting head for it, than you are in this rink. So make sure that you're communicating, because when that player's underneath the rest, his brain's going 100 miles an hour just trying to battle for the puck, not having to worry about where the heck is my players. But if he hears that voice, he knows. That takes one thing off of him, and he knows where to get that pass as soon as he's got the puck on his stick. So communication is huge. Really, really, really try to enforce that.
Your stuff.
There it is. Boom, boom, boom. 03, patience, passing, possession. For pucks, who the league of the
So we bought pucks from Ted, and Ted brought them down today. Each team will have their game pucks, black pucks, and I'll get bags for everybody for each team. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a bag of 40 or 50 red pucks will be at the facility, and you guys use those for practice. And then when we're done practice, those pucks come back into the bag, and they stay for the next practice.
Yeah, because you guys have to use game pucks, like your black pucks in the league.
Yeah.
So those should never leave the coach's bag to enter into the practice puck pile. Or else you're going to start showing up red pucks, and the refs are going to say, no, give me the black pucks, and you might start running out of them.
I'm going to add that they're very expensive. We had a tough lesson, was it last year or year before? I put the pucks in a bag after the warm-up, and I put them in a little cubby in the East Locker Center beside the bench. Mm-hmm. And when we left, we didn't see that the pucks were in there. They were gone like that. And we had about 20 pucks. And they're, what, 10, 12 bucks a piece?
Yeah, around 10.
Yeah. What you paid, but what we paid to replace them was incredible.
No, that's, we We sell them, we buy them in bulk so that we can help support the
Yeah.
leagues that way, because yes, if you gotta go to United Cycle, you're gonna be paying $12 or $14, and then we sell them as, we sell them to the leagues for like $9.50, and this is like, and it's still like $2 cheaper than you can get them off Amazon.
Yeah.
So,
But what you'll find is they'll end up in players' bags, unfortunately.
yes.
So just maybe encourage your players, if they do want a puck, go buy one, or if you've got extra, go buy one.
Yeah, I think you guys should be good for the year.
At 40.
I think it'd be good for the year with the system that, you know, you just make sure that those coaches take those pucks, put them right back, they never leave their bags unless they're playing in Edmonton.
That's right. And then the red one's just a quick walk around after practice, make sure they don't leave any laying around in the stands, because they're gonna fly out, and after practice, we'll be 5 or 6 out there.
Just, okay, I just want to say one thing there about, okay, went back, that's perfect. So warm-ups, obviously we don't worry about stretch, never use ice time for stretching, my God. And in fact, when you're sitting there on a whiteboard, don't sit there for 5 minutes on a whiteboard. Just get the drill going, and you can be, let them learn as they do. It's important probably for the tests. Is it? A really good idea when you're doing practice is to have stations, because then you get more people moving. So that's that. I know for me, for my warm-ups, I always had a dryland warm-up for my kids. Again, I always wanted to make sure that they didn't get any bad habits when they went back to hockey. They'd only had good habits. And so I always had them doing drylands. So I'd have them doing whatever it takes, like this, that, do a run, high knees. And then they came up to me and said, hey coach, we just want to play football to warm up, because you know it's springtime and they can go outside. And I said, guys, I'll tell you what, this is the deal. You can play football for your warm-up as long as you keep winning. As soon as you lose a game, we go back to my way of warming up. We never lost a game after that. It's amazing what the currency is you can use for kids, but that one I will pass along to you. Again, it's spring, it's fun, and they love it. Yeah. Okay, again, from practices, if you want to read that 90%, is skating, puck control, passing, shooting. And I'd also put in here communicating. When you're in your practice and you're doing your passing and your drills, I know they're all wide open. I know there's nobody on you. I know you know where they are. But drill it into them to communicate even during their practices, because then that becomes inherited in their games. It becomes something that becomes natural to them. And I don't know, sometimes I say, hey guys, is it not cool to yell out there to your buddy there to ask for a puck? I mean, does it sound like you're weird or something? Like, communicate. And they kind of say, well, kind of coach. I said, well, no, I don't, it's not weird. Communicate, yell, it's all good. I said, pretend it's the library, like you're always yakking in there. Yeah. Tell me I'll forget, show me, I might remember, ball me and I'll watch that, yeah.
I think you wrote that.
Well, it's true, it's very true. Learn by doing is probably that really quick. And again, for practices, at the beginning, I might have had one in the middle of the year, just to kind of go over some things, because by then they've learned how to skate a little bit better. They're a little more comfortable in the wheels. It's not all just, what do I do with this? Is we started putting some systems into place.
Mm-hmm. So let's lead this to the next discussion here. So because, you know, Camrose is in its first year, and, you know, there's a lot of new coaches. Brad's been around a while, but, you know, there's a lot of people are eager to learn, right? And some young guys that are eager to learn and go to the next level. So what we're doing right now is putting together like a basic plan for 10. Oh, just there you go. For 10 skates for the guys, for the coaches, for the program, for Camrose especially. But we started a pilot project in the winter with you know, where the focus was teaching the sport of roller hockey. You know, more than just saying just scrimmage or just play 10, you know, 20 league games. Like there was more focus on how do you actually play the sport so that you can keep progressing, and you know, you get to Brendan Baumgartner status, right? So you know, that's what we want to teach these kids, is so that they, you know, because I know that's where Brady wants to go, and I know a lot of the other guys want to get there too. So you know, that's going to be one of the things where Aaron Leesman, one of our directors, has been planning he's the one who ran our winter academy, and he's been planning what's the best use of the time for Camrose for these 10 skates they have locally. You know, so you're involving your, you know, some sort of skills and drill sessions, but then you're going to go into scrimmage because guys are going to want to play locally, right? They're going to want to play each other. They don't want to just do a bunch of drills and skate around pilots. But, you know, so Aaron's putting together this effective practice plan for you guys. Now, you know, no one's going to dictate that you have to do everything that's on this plan. It's going to be, you know, your discretion, but, you know, there's a lot of good coaches in the room, and you guys are going to decide what else you want to try out or what else you want to learn. But we're putting together this basic plan for Camrose, hand it over to you guys, saying 10 skates, you guys got 10 skates locally. The first 2 skates, Aaron called me and said, yeah, I've almost done the first 2 skates, and then I've got the next 8, and those ones will be a lot easier. The first 2 are assuming that, you know, that 50% of the kids are brand new to roller hockey. How do we get them wheeling? How do we get them, you know, make sure they understand, you know, some of the stopping, starting, a lot of movement, a lot of passing, receiving, and shooting those goalies, getting the goalies used to it. And then after that, you know, they'll start breaking into some sort of systems and stuff where you can start training the teams on you know, breakouts and you know, resets and so on. So this is going to be really neat for Camrose, and you know, I hope you guys make use of all the stuff that they're putting together. But it's just baseline, right? It's just going to be, here's your basic stuff. If you guys want to take it, you know, some teams are going to be a little bit more you know, advanced than the other ones. You know, and Aaron is also thinking about, okay, well, we do have an 11 and under group with, you know, 15 kids, 11-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 7-year-olds in there. So what can we do for them to help train them? Like, we're not going to be, you know, pushing them too hard on, you know, how to reset the puck, right? So Aaron's actually putting all this together basically for all the age groups. And there you go. There you go. So
When is he sending that out?
sorry?
When are we going to get that?
Oh, I told him the deadline is this Friday.
Okay.
And then I'm actually going to put everything together in rig diagrams and explanations, and then send it out to you guys if you have time for your first skate.
Beautiful.
Are they learning any breakouts? Is any of those part of those docs they're getting?
100%.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just say that the pilot project Ted's talking about was a great initiative that AMRHA put together. I think there was 4 or 5 top tier coaches that played Team Canada, coached Team Canada, won major championships, played at the highest level. And that, they all brainstormed to put together this document, which I sure wish I had.
One of your former players.
Yeah, absolutely. Wish I had when I started coaching. Because I was like you, I coached hockey, but man, I didn't want to put up my hand. First of all, I didn't want to put up my hand for roller hockey, so I got to thank all you coaches for doing that, because you've already had a long year. You might have had a bad parent group, which makes it a really long year. And then you can want to coach right away again. And I remember saying, oh, if you can't find anybody else, then I'll do it. Probably one of the best things that ever happened to me is they didn't find anybody else. So I did it, because I enjoyed coaching roller. I enjoyed coaching hockey, but I really, really enjoyed coaching roller. Some practice plans. In case this is on the exam, make sure you always have goals and be specific. Yeah, have specific goals. That's in life, really. Don't say I want to be rich. That doesn't mean. It's pretty tough to get there. You haven't got more of a specific plan to save in hockey. We're going to be good. Okay, boys, that's our goal. We're going to be good. That doesn't work. Build principles. To your effect, we've already talked about some principles. Design the practice with time in mind. Always with time in mind.
Which, yeah, you know, that was one of the things I mentioned earlier. I said these guys are going to have 1 hour skate. Let's put enough stuff together so they could have, you know, 30 to 40 minutes of good material. And then after that, they're going to have, you know, like 15, 20 minutes of scrimmaging.
And Brad, I'll say, like, at Edmonton line, we didn't get practice time.
No.
We had to go book our own.
Yeah.
So is that something that you're doing for the team, or do they have a book separate?
No, we're doing it for the class.
It's already baked into the pot.
We're going to try and add in a few more skates along the way.
Wow. You guys are lucky. That's some good stuff. Hockey sense. We're going to call this roller hockey sense. Awareness, anticipation, creativity. This is really big. Don't ever tell your kid to be staying between the lines. Let them use their minds. I mean, I remember there was a young boy from Ohio who was playing the AAA. I think they got a bronze medal in AAA. He had one arm. That kid had a brain, and he was creative with the puck, and what he did was amazing. He wasn't there for sympathy. He was there because he earned a spot and was one of the top players.
He had one arm?
Yeah, you know when you by birth, from birth?
Right, but he had like two hands, did he have a hook or something on the stick?
Yeah, but yeah. I can remember he would always have a bit of a joke with the boys because when we won, then he'd go shake hands with everybody, the silver, the gold, the third, and the bronze.
I just see this guy stick handling with one hand. I'm like,
He did, yeah, like he did.
oh,
But he also had some sort of a device.
Right.
He was good with one stick, like how he could do this, and the players didn't know what to do. But it was, and he had fun with it too, because he would go shake hands with his right hand. He'd put out call it a stump, he would laugh at that too. And so the guys, I remember my teams didn't know what to do, and so he's having a real laugh at him.
fist bump.
Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, so creativity is really big. And you don't have to be a 6'6" or if you're 14-year-old 5'8". The smaller kids, a lot of times, are really creative, really quick, really smart. Let them flourish. Visual alertness, decision making, yeah. That's all really good hockey stuff, roller hockey stuff right there. That's really good. We gotta get that word roller hockey sense, roller hockey sense.
Yeah.
Because it's true, but it's so different.
I think that's Jared Evans right there.
Right here, yeah. That's an oldie.
Another Team Alberta coach on there. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, okay. Again, whenever you're looking for drills, look for flow drills. I know these guys here have a separate section that you can just filter. Show me just flow drills. You're also getting some from Aaron, it sounds like, right?
Yeah. Well, like, so for Alberta roller hockey here, we have, when everybody goes to register, there's a waiver there, and there's multiple waivers there that you read through. And as long as you read through them, you're going to catch the part that says, here's the link right here for all the coaching resources, where all the manuals and all the drill plans and how to plan a practice. Just good stuff. Like Kirk said, you know, with roller hockey, it's very short season, and so we don't have 60 practices planned, right? But we're just trying to provide as many resources and opportunities, access to information for the coaches, so that they don't hit a wall like Kirk said. You know, I got started and I was like, oh geez, where do I find all this? So we're doing our best to kind of help you guys, to help cut down the learning curve here on all your new players here.
Yeah, so I would encourage that to make sure, like a lot of flow drills. Another thing is, inline I kind of relate a little bit to basketball as well. You know, when the guard's coming up, they'll go 2, 4, or the coach is yelling some play. Have the same thing, like draw up some breakouts with your kids. I know one that I call it, and it's gone viral now, it's called the Ferrari. You have 2 guys going behind the net, you got 2 guys swinging this way, and I remember asking the kids, what do you want to call it? Like, anybody can call it out if the play's there. And they said, let's call it the Ferrari. I go, why? Because it's fast.
Once everyone figures out, we're gonna have to like change it to proportions.
That's right. But, you know, have fun with the kids, like having some breakouts and having some, calling out some plays. They'll really enjoy that. And you'll have some fun with it too as a coach, watching these kids grow and just become more and more together and really enjoying what the game can really be with the rules and what inline allows you to have as a team. That was good. That was kind of my wrap-up line, actually.
Oh, yeah, so, let's get up here.
And I'll let you know too, Brad, any of you guys ever want to call me for anything? Again, I come down to Camrose every now and then. You want me to come down a session or even watch some games, help out on a bench or just coach it. I'm willing. Like, it's awesome. Love the community, love being down here. Yeah.
Sunday we'll take care of it.
I guess, I don't know if I'm allowed to put this on the slide or not. How do you put these on the slide? I thought you could put any documents on there.
You should be just showing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't put it on the projector.
What was this, like, right, so that's for the example screen?
sticks.
What else did you want to talk about? We just talked about-
Oh, I just wanted to show you the sound.
Starting off tonight, sorry.
What's it called? Dave?
DJ.
I don't like this.
It's got to do with, like, it's not sending the switch.
Yeah.
Wear sweats.
Don't want it. We're gonna figure it out real quick here. Let's go to the gym.
Anybody got any questions while we're getting this next document up? I'm shocked you were saying to your D-man, take the shooter. Because backdoor is a killer in inline because the goalie can't come across, right?
But usually, if like the guy will come, there's two guys here, and he's coming kind of on the inside. He'll try to go to the outside and then pass it. But then at that point, I can just put out my stick and block the pass myself.
But also, the defense doesn't have a stick out, so they try a saucer pass, and then it would bounce or come off the stick funny. So they ended up not hitting a lot of those. They got a couple, but for the most part, it worked for that game.
Yeah, just I mean, it all depends on the
It
team.
really messed them up.
Well, I
because-
loved it. I loved it. Yeah, that would mess some players up there. Like,
Yeah, they were just used to walking in on 2-on-1, picking their corner and ripping. So, yeah, now they were forced to pass,
And then they were under
They
pressure.
were used to it. So if you got a player that doesn't pass, and now all of a sudden they got to pass, they're not good at it.
I'll just say, because again, when you talk about that, if you can catch a pass on it with inline, because a lot of times that puck will get bouncing, you'll really learn how to be a good receiver of the pass in hockey. Because if you can receive an inline puck, you can definitely receive a hockey puck. And a couple of things I always say to my boys about, and ladies, about passing would be, if you want to help out your partner, don't send them a lazy pass. If I give you a nice hard pass, what does that give your partner? Nice quick pass, what does that give your partner? Anybody else do that? Time and space. Man, did you read the book already? Exactly.
Just guessing.
Communication, time and space, man, you're moving right up. Must be the pickleball IQ that's coming across, huh? Well, that's right. There, got it. Okay, good. That's all I had to know.
Okay, there you go. So this is just an example of some of the stuff we have for you guys, right? Fast-paced puck movement. So we put together a couple sample drills, full surface give and go, warm up, drill 3. And yeah, all of these drills that we currently have, plus our coaching booklet. So I don't know, we've got probably somewhere over 100 drills, 150 drills, plays. A lot of this stuff right now is just X's, O's, and lines, right? You got to actually kind of look at them, but that's what we're saying. We're giving you guys something to work with that Kirk, 15 years ago never had, and now you guys have the opportunity to, look into this stuff and then chart your own course, right? Take some of your knowledge of everything that you've learned from ice hockey and implement that time and space and possession, passing, and what was the last one? Patience.
Where did you pull this up from, Ted?
Oh, this is all on that drive link that we have. Yeah. So it's you go to the drive link, you'll see. I'll close this window here, and I'll show you the.
So who's got access to this then? The coaches or just
Everybody is a registered coach.
Oh, okay.
So here's our level 2 manual. There you go. Very good stuff here. Very, very in depth on the sport of roller hockey. And then once you get past some of these pages, then we've got some images for you. There's a lot of stuff in this manual here. But this is really for the advanced guys, right? The advanced coaches.
I'll say like one thing to kind of make sure that whatever drills you're doing there is the drop pass is really important. Like I always used to say chaos is caused by two things. You know what they are? Just taking a shot, you might know, is change of direction and speed. If you can be doing that, if you're doing change of direction, like so when you're swinging and you drop that pass, the guy's making the read obviously, but either he drops the pass or he takes it. You'll see Connor McDavid 99% of the time, he's taking it because he's got his wheels, or his skates is going. But speed and change of direction cause chaos. Really hard to defend. So whenever you're doing flow drills, make sure you're trying to do like the railroad tracks they call them, you're going across like this and you drop it, you're picking it up, receiving it. Always make sure you're dropping it to the guy's forehand, not on his backhand, right? Just different things like that. Really important when you're doing your drills is to try to even get that type of a drill going so they can execute it during the game.
Is there anything else you guys would like to see, or are we maybe just time for some questions?
So did everybody get that link and register on it?
Not all the way.
Not all
As
the
soon
way.
as it asks me to take the test, I gotta talk to Brian.
Yeah, so it's not mandatory that we take the test, but I encourage the associations to tell everyone, take the level 1 test. It's everything we were just talking about, looking at right now is all the level 1 exam.
Yeah.
I think we have to trigger right. That's my madness.
You want me to like that as an action shot? Good. Pointer.
Yeah.
It's a my screen.
Yes.
Great job, Kirk.
Yeah, so, you know, guys it's really great here in Alberta with the sport of roller hockey. We have a lot of, there's a lot of places around Canada that play roller hockey, right? They've got their, I'll just leave that for now. Nobody else has a provincial association like us.
Nope.
Like not even remotely close. So I just sent something to the national director, and he's the new executive director for Canada, and he's so impressed with the stuff that I put together for Camrose's initial meeting. You know, descriptions of the different leagues and the sizes and what you want to do with those that amount of players, and he was so impressed with all that information that we put together. He said, is there any way that I can take some of this so that we can start pushing Ontario and BC to actually put together a provincial association, because right now it's just a mess. There's a bunch of scattered leagues, no one working together, no one communicating. Ontario does have a provincial team program, but it's scattered amongst 5 or 6 different leagues, and no one really, the only reason they are able to put teams together is because State Wars and Tim McManus. So he comes in and runs their tryouts for them. So with us, we're one of the unique places in North America that actually runs our own provincial tryouts for State Wars. Everyone else has to be, have their handheld. And because of our the way we've designed the tryouts for this year, the national director actually wants to come watch the show. He wants to see, how we all pull it together. So it's it's going to be I think we've got it's going to be a fun tryout for everybody.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about the association growth in Alberta, like from last year to this year?
The groups.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we started with as of last year we had 6 members. We had Okotoks, Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, Lethbridge, and who's the last one? Pittsburgh, Mountain View, because they got kids from Carstairs and Olds and so on. So they were one of the original founding members of Alberta Minor Roller Hockey. And this past year, with Lacombe was last year as well, but they were an associate member, so they weren't. They were just kind of a very recreational program, and so was Redcliffe, which is just outside Medicine Hat, and they were very recreational as well. So we were already kind of working with them these last 2 years about getting things up and running. Brad got the group together, a lot of dedicated parents, and they, we worked really hard together, and we were able to get Camrose up and running. I would say, and I've told Brad this, and I've told Carly this, that you guys have, what you've done in the amount of time with how you've taken your 2 teams and turned it into, 7, plus a small program for the beginner kids. This is like what you would see out of a 3-year program. So right now, Lacombe is in a 2-year window right now, and so is Redcliffe. And Lacombe is still working on exposure camps, and so is Redcliffe, like learn to skate things, it's Lacombe. The kids are all signed up, but they don't have organized teams at this point in time. They're going to have a lot of mixed birth years together, 4-year age groupings. It's good. It's going to work for them, but they're still a year and a half behind you guys, right? And this is so Brad and the group, kudos. You guys put together a heck of a program in your first year and pulled it together in 3 or 4 months, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of the other groups you guys got your bank account ready to go. You've got your papers filed. You've got your committees. You've got your president, VPs, secretaries, everything. All these other places are still figuring their way through that. Lacombe is the next one that's right behind you.
So there's 10 associations now in Alberta?
So we had a surprise entry was Wood Buffalo. A teacher out of Red Deer had moved up there a couple years ago, and he was heavily involved in roller hockey overseas and in Red Deer. And so he moved up there a couple years ago. He called us and said, I'd really like to get a program going. So same blueprint that I've used with Lacombe and everyone else. You guys are a little bit different, obviously, closer to Edmonton, a lot of experience with some of your executives, right? But, same blueprint, we're putting up an exposure camp, getting the kids started on that, and then before you know it, they're going to, they're not trying to, they wanted to be a member right away. Membership allows them to enter teams in the provincials. They're not ready for that. So, but what those kids are going to do is we have that Ironman tournament in the middle of summer, where kids, they don't have to go in full teams. You just show up, we provide jerseys, and the kids get drafted on the teams. So we have multiple small associations right now. Like I think last year it was really cool because we had, I think, 7 or 8 different locations making up our 3 11 and under teams that we had last year. There's a kid who came from Medhat last year. 3 or 4 kids from Lacombe came. Kids out of Okotoks came. Red Deer kids were in there, obviously. Lethbridge was there. Edmonton kids. It was like there was from all over, and those 3 little teams of 7 kids. It was quite incredible to see. So that was a lot of fun for these guys, and that's what Wood Buffalo is going to be doing this year. So we're going to be seeing a bunch of kids from Wood Buffalo signing up in that program this year. So I think it's we're up to 10, and I just got a phone call actually yesterday from Wembley, Alberta, and
Where's that?
Wow.
it's right by Grand Prairie. So their local community, the town sponsors, puts together programming for the kids.
Yeah.
And they were told they're not allowed to put a ball hockey organization together. So the director's like, well, we want to do something with hockey because they love hockey. We melt the ice, and they found us on. They called me up, said, hey, look at this. Is there any chance? And I said, well, we used to have a league up in Grand Prairie, and I said, so yeah, it does work. And so yeah, it was a good conversation. I shared a bunch of information with her. I think we'll be putting together an exposure camp sometime in the summer. I'm probably gonna have to draft him and send him up there with some skates.
Went down to Lethbridge, you got to start, might as well go north.
Yeah, there you go. But you know what? Same blueprint, right? Get the exposure camp, get the community buying in, get the kids out there trying on. They've committed to their ice hockey equipment, maybe they haven't committed to the rollerblades just yet, right? But we'll get 40, 50, 60 kids out there, and then she said right away, well, what event could we even get them to? We'd have to get a whole team. I go, well, that's the beauty. I said, we got the Ironman tournament. I said, and she's like, oh my God. She's like, we will be bringing like 10 or 12 kids in various age groups. She's like, I know my boys will be there. And I'm like, this is how it starts. So Wood Buffalo and, you know, maybe they'll be playing on the same team, who knows, but, you know, there's the next associate member showing up right now, and we'll be working on getting roller hockey up there next year.
Any final questions?
I guess I could talk about all
You
that.
could talk, I know that. You are a passion. I'll just give a shout out to Ted here. He won the Director of the Year at the World Championships down in Detroit this year, so congratulations there to Ted.
I was not expecting that. We were actually there for a presentation for Kirk because he was getting an award, and then my name got called out after. I'm like,
Wow. And I wasn't expecting either.
What did you get?
The made a new award called Commitment to the Game.
Wow.
So I was really
coaches, directors, players, because they've only ever had that director award. They've never had another award, and so yeah, they created an award that you know any volunteer could win, not just a director.
So how much do we owe you guys for coming today?
You've already paid full.
It's baked into the price.
Well, thanks for coming, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good luck there, everybody.
Thank you.
Have fun with it. And I'm going to be trying to put this up onto a YouTube channel I have. It's a personal one.
Oh God.
But if you want to revisit this, I'll try to get that up and I'll let Brad know.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Are you gonna edit all of this?
No, it's gonna be wrong.
Like you're gonna be talking about that kid with the one arm?
Yeah. Like I said, you're the first guy laughing.
Yep.